it up.
I'm glad it's not just me having a brain fart today. It's both of us.
Yeah.
It's definitely both of us. Maybe that could be just like, we're both having I'm having a brain fucking fart today. This is gonna be the intro. Fuck the rest of you.
After about 7 hours in the studio with Gio, the two of us are not at full mental capacity, but you clicked on this video, and this video is the podcast Ever Changing Vibe. We're gonna have to have a lot of fun today, so hopefully, hope you can stick around. We've had a long day today, but I still need to do a podcast because I'm not gonna see you for a couple days. I'm gonna be a little sad, Gio. But during our breaks and stuff, there's a couple like recent big events that I have not been on top of. I've been so out of just current events for so long, and well before this past couple weeks where I'm just kind of like doing my own thing, all the way back to like when I kind of was creating this podcast. I never liked to do the current events because I wasn't often putting them out the week that they're recorded, and a lot of them are long past and all that. So the past month, 2 months, maybe 3, I feel like I've been recording a podcast and then putting it out right away. So I think these current events might work. And one of the ones that I want to start with is aliens. Gio found a nice little, what's the guy's name? Philip DeFranco, little short kind of explaining the recent thing. Before we even like jump into watching this little short, what do you currently know about the alien situation?
That there's this one guy that's like going in, and he's apparently saying that like, aliens exist. I have friends that say that they exist, and I think the reason why there's like some validity to what he may be saying is because of the fact that he worked for the government, like I forgot which part of the government he used to work for, but like
right.
he actually wasn't like
he's a reputable source.
Yeah.
Plus he's under oath, so it's
So there's that, but I think it's more of like he had people that he worked with that were actually associated with these things, not like that he actually was in them, and which is why it's also like okay, like
right.
you know what I mean. So it's not even your facts; it's word of mouth.
Because over the past like almost 3 years now, I feel a lot more UFO, alien, just extraterrestrial things have not even been leaked. They've like the government started putting out like we know stuff. This is one of the biggest things that has become public knowledge, and I don't know if it's not actual like transcripts or anything. It's just some guy informing the public is it the Congress or something. And to me now, especially after living through the 2020 to 2023 now, I've started to notice there's just as many like nonsense news stories as there are like crazy information. And I can't help to be a skeptic on this one, where not to take away any validity, but what are they trying to divert our attention from? Mm-hmm. But doesn't mean it's not worth looking into, because what was the Leo DiCaprio movie with about Don't Look Up or something like that? Did you ever watch the Don't Look Up? It's all about like Leo is a leading scientist at this like physicist for NASA or something, and they know that a meteorite is headed right towards Earth, and Earth is gonna be done in like a couple months. So they keep going on like news channels and trying to like alert the public, and everyone's just like, and like just pushes them away, pushes them off, like it doesn't matter.
Oh, I did watch
Jennifer Lawrence.
Yes. I didn't care for it too much, but I know that a lot of people like that movie.
So I wonder if it's more of a divert attention, or are we experiencing Don't Look Up? Is it just ahead of its time?
I want to see what he has to say first, and then I'll kind of give my take on what I think.
Yeah, let's have someone Philip DeFranco break down this recent congressional hearing, I believe it's called.
Something like that.
Congress was talking about aliens today. If you haven't seen yet, the National Security Subcommittee of the House Oversight Committee held a public hearing today as part of an effort to convince the Biden administration to release more information about UFOs, or rather the term that's being widely used here, UAPs. And with all this, you had people saying the situation went kind of off the rails pretty fast.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
So we got non-human. Could it be a walrus? Was I out there? I'm not an alien. But
Or are you?
what are your thoughts, Gio?
Like for me, I think that personally, like this is gonna go nowhere. Like
Yeah.
I think this is just like one of those just toss stories. Like even if it is like one of those like cover ups, or whatever. Like I'm not sure, because I feel like, and I forgot who mentioned it before. I was talking to somebody and they were talking about it where it's just like, out of all the times that the government has been like, we don't want this information out there, they've shut that person up somehow.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, granted, with aliens, I feel like they've done less so, but like,
so why are they allowing this one to go as public as it's going?
yeah, but like then comes into thought like my other thought process, which is like what I actually think, which is like, for me, I do believe aliens are real and that they have come or whatever. But my whole thing is just like, I feel like the only reason the government would hide it is just because of like religious reasons. Like, because I think there was somewhere in the Bible once, or somebody told me it was in the Bible once that like, it's somewhere in religion says that like we're the only creations God ever had, and like they're thinking of like that
True.
and mass panic and
That's what happened with the
hysteria.
dinosaurs and the
Yeah.
skeletons, and now we have Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, and I have fun with those franchises. So, I think this is a big nothing burger. This whole story,
But I think that like, oh, that's what I was leading up to. I think that honestly, like all these small random UFO or alien stories that have been coming out the last couple of years, that where the government's just been like, oh, hey, look at this. Oh, hey, look at this. Oh, yeah, we did do this, but like under the radar almost, like where those stories just kind of like flew under most people's things. It's just like, I think that maybe they're trying to warm everybody up over time to just the idea of aliens being a thing before like some type of mass panic hysteria kind of happens.
that leads me to my follow-up. What are they going to do? If aliens have been around all this time and they've done nothing to us, nothing like
Yeah.
overtly harmful. I mean, we have the stories of like, whatever farmer got, beamed up and anal probed and all this garbage, but those are to me are like, ghost stories. It's like someone has a story that they experienced a ghost, but I've never experienced. I have had some supernatural experiences, but it's not something that like my experience is like repeatable, I guess is what I'm going for. It's not like I went into the woods one time, into the state forest near us, and it's known to be haunted. And when I went into this forest, I had a very like weird experience where me and my friends got chased out by a vehicle that it was just a very weird scenario. But I also think we were just young and just like freaked out because we were doing that anyways. But I don't know, like if we went back the next night, or if we told someone that story and then they went back, would they have the same experience? And it just like, it doesn't all add up. So, what do we care? Why do we actually care about aliens? If they're not doing anything to us, I get like maybe governmental or especially, military reasons for wanting to know more, because they might have technology that we don't have and kind of like network engaging. But I don't think there is going to be a mass hysteria if we have evidence, facts, proof that is undeniable for every citizen that that's an alien. Are we really going to like change our course of action? Or does it affect our life that much? Or could they live amongst us? Or
like I don't know if they'll ever like, at least in our generation, if there is aliens, like I don't think that like they'll ever live amongst us per se.
Yeah.
If they weren't already, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's just like they probably are doing their own thing. Like it's just, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
but like,
And
I don't think that
they might not be malicious. They might
Yeah,
be coming to
but-
the
But and then look at for example, which is why I think still more of like the mass hysteria or panic kind of situation. It's like look at COVID for example.
Mhm.
How like right during COVID for whatever reason, everyone blamed it like when Trump, whether he meant to or not, blamed it on China. And there was just this mass Asian hate where people were just like beating up Asian people, calling them all these things, coming at them for no reason, all that
Right.
jazz, like out of nowhere. They may not even had like Asian hate before or whatever, but it's just like
you
that-
blame them for all your life problems.
Yeah.
And
and it's like, which is, don't get me wrong, that's fucked up. Like, but it's like one of those things where I do think that
if there
that's
is another
probably- like, if
species, we
there's a-
don't want to.
Yeah, I do think that people will panic in that sense, where because it's
Yeah.
so unknown. It's similar to like all the other times where an unknown scenario happens in history, and like people are just like, kill it with fire, get rid of it. I don't like it. I don't want it. Like it can't be with me. Like
Right.
so, I think it's one of those more so.
I also think there is this level, and this is what I think aliens are, or how they are involved in our world. We know through the marine biologists that have studied all this stuff that whales, dolphins are very intelligent mammalian species that have their own, ways of communication. They, I know it's been in some of the studies, dolphins will even have like accents per region and stuff. There's a lot of differences from dolphins around the world. And we can't communicate with dolphins yet, but dolphins can interact with us, but their mission isn't to interact with humans. I think aliens might eventually interact with humans, but their mission isn't to interact with humans. They're coming to this planet to get research or get resources or get whatever they may be looking for. Maybe they're just they might even, we don't really know intergalactic like politics, but they might be seeking refuge and just trying to live quietly amongst us. And they're in a deep dark forest and no one ever witnesses them, but then we see them and they're not harming us. They're not changing our lifestyle. They're finding a way to live within the ocean. Maybe dolphins are the fucking species that
Imagine
we keep referring to, but
it's like Rick and Morty episode where the dinosaurs were the aliens that would come down and just try. Did you ever see
was
that
that
episode?
Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. And there was also maybe it was Solar Opposites that had the whole thing with the cows.
I think
That
so.
cows are the alien species.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a while since I've watched Solar Opposites. So.
yeah. Well, I don't necessarily feel super comfortable watching it anymore.
Ah,
I've always been the type of guy that's separates the art from the artist, but some of the ways that Rick speaks in that like drunken burp thing, I just go, is this how you sounded when you were beating your wife or partner or whatever? Like, that thought pops into my head and then it distracts me for the next 5 minutes and I miss a bunch of jokes and I can't enjoy Rick and Morty for the way I used to. But maybe I just got to give it another chance. Maybe
I didn't
maybe
realize
it
you
is so
did
good.
that part. I remember the younger girls part. I didn't remember the beating.
Oh,
Was
I
that
thought
also
it
a
was.
thing?
Well, I didn't know about the younger girls. Can we get nice little fact check? Because I thought it was more about domestic abuse and cheating, infidelity, or whatever it's called. Is it fidelity? Fidelity's the bank. Infidelity, the opposite, was Justin Roiland's.
I guess that was one of them.
I think that was the first thing was domestic abuse, but
No, I don't know, because let me see. Faces felony abuse charges and lost all his jobs.
Well,
Yeah, I see. Was involved in. Let's see. Roiland once paraded a high-profile porn star through the Rick and Morty writers' room, openly discussed threesomes, and was involved in at least one instance of alleged sexual harassment during the show's third season, notably its first with female writers. So I guess he had some with the female writers, some incidents, but like, I think even before all this was coming out, there was like stuff about like younger girls coming out talking about like don't tell anybody, like as he was talking to these younger girls. So I didn't know about any of the other shit too.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to get into Justin Roiland. It's old news.
It is. But yeah, so I mean, aside from that,
Do you want to if I like cut it? Oh, did you have something you were gonna add something?
I didn't know if you wanted me to switch topics. That was the only
Yeah. I'm gonna cut it like right here, and then if you can just find a transition into the Doja Cat, maybe.
But I mean, if you want to talk about more relevant topics, did you hear about like all the shit that's going on with Doja Cat?
Doja Cat. Didn't we just react to one of her songs? What was the song we just reacted to? That was good. Attention? Yeah, that was good. I fuck with Doja Cat. Doja Cat's one of my favorite.
It's funny that you say that.
Musicians out there, because she is such a like troll. She's so funny. And then she's actually like good. Like her bars, like talk shit, and it's so fun.
It's funny that you say that you fuck with her, because I'm not too certain she fucks with you.
The title of this video that you're about to pull up is this female rapper is self-destructing. Do you want to just mute it for the ad real quick?
That's exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, so I don't know if you've ever watched any of Jamari's videos. I like Jamari.
I know Jamari. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. So shout outs to you, Jamari, for this video. But yeah, so.
So before the video starts, I just wanted to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, my longtime.
Oh, sorry, buddy, but we're gonna have to skip this part. I appreciate you, but not that much.
Came out of nowhere and gained massive popularity insanely fast, with several of her songs going viral overnight. Personally,
wait. Pause. I want to go into the Doja Cat and just hear your breakdown of it.
Sure. Oh, sure.
And then just my like natural reaction. So whatever you know about it.
I'll try my best.
Do you want to watch that first so that you know how to like set it up?
No, it's okay. I think I can kind of figure it out.
All right. Check that timestamp real quick.
23 minutes.
23. So let's just redo that like.
Sure. But if you want to talk about like more relevant topics, have you heard about like what's going on with Doja Cat?
Doja Cat, my girl, dude, one of the funniest rappers out there. She got popular on the scene because of Milk Lemonade or whatever it was.
Milk.
No, what was that? What was that song? The moo like a cow or whatever.
I'm a cow, like bitch, I'm a cow.
Dude, she's
like
just she's so funny, and I feel like there's a little self-awareness in that, and I really enjoy.
I was right.
I enjoy that, especially out of like music, because I don't necessarily like jump into music or songs. So when I see someone who brings a comedic value to their stuff, but then if you listen to her lyrics, she's, for one, just a great rapper. Her music is actually really good, especially her pop stuff is really catchy. And
keep hyping her up.
She's still fun. Ooh, is that a foreshadow?
That's a foreshadow.
She's funny as fuck. I'm
so happy.
I'm so pro Doja Cat, but that might be stuffed back down my throat. So, all right. Did she do something like cancel worthy, or it's just bad album, or she went at Nicki Minaj or something?
Nah, it was just more of like I think it was like drama on like Twitter or like now X, whatever you want to fucking call it at this point. But yeah, so she came at like, well, she basically posted something that was just like, oh yeah, so all those albums that I've released so far, like the two, she was like, those are all money grabs, and you guys are just, get fucked because you guys just fell for it kind of thing. And
So her first 2 albums, she
claims it's a money grab.
She told her fans and everybody that she made those as money grabs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she said something else like let's see, called her latest albums cash grabs, and that's what they were to her. And then one of her friends.
Where's the contention with this? I'm still like super on board.
Wait. And then one of her fans called themselves. I don't know what the Doja fans call themselves, right?
Sure.
But like she was just like, my fans wouldn't call themselves that. If you're gonna call yourself that, like you should just delete all social media and like go help your mom with the bills or something. And then,
dude, I love it.
And
She's,
then like and so
okay,
like, now,
all right.
So and then after that, one of her fans was just like, but what should we call ourselves? Like, we love you and all this other stuff. Like, and then she was just like, I don't love you. I don't know you. And like,
dude, she's speaking right from my heart.
And it's like, granted, it's not like one of those things like, and I think I started talking about it a little bit earlier with you where I was just like, as much as I'm like, damn, it's one of those things for me at least where I'm just like, I get it. It's just also like the way you worded it is just fucked. You know what I mean? Like, but
Can
like,
you pull up some of the tweets for me as I kind of give my take on this?
Sure.
I'm so on board with this. I am so sick and tired, and this is a little like anecdote, kind of like side road, but it relates. I just started watching The Boys, and you get to see behind the reality of superheroes in that show, The Boys, and how they're not just good people and they don't really care. I think there are so many artists like that. She's just speaking genuinely. That this is like a sense of like motivation for me a lot of times where I don't really care about you. I'm doing this podcast because I care about me and I'm trying to make it into something. And I think that might have been worded wrong, but I think she's just being real. And my biggest thing is I appreciate authenticity and genuine, personalities. And she's like the only artist or actor or actress or like celebrity that's just like, no, like I got popular from, Moo. You guys liked that. I got an opportunity to get, more money and you guys soaked that up. And you're not like a victim because you enjoyed all of her content. She's just telling you she doesn't care that you enjoyed her content. She put it out there because it made her money. Just like anybody works any job that they have. Like you work a job so that you have money to afford things. So she's just saying like, I don't care. And she might have been saying it in a more harsh way, but so be it. Like it doesn't it's more real than someone going, oh, I love all my fans. I love all my fans. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be here without you. It's like, if that's not how you genuinely feel, then
but at the same
I think
time,
the best thing to do is
also,
just not say anything. But I appreciate so many people just put celebrities and artists and all these people on pedestals, and essentially what she's doing is taking herself down from a pedestal and is like, hey, I'm not doing this for you, the individual. I don't know you. I don't know these groups of people. I don't know these Dojians or whatever Doja
but it's also
fans
like,
are.
I think the bigger thing is more of just like, yes, you can be straight up like that, but it's also just like when people are coming, like your fans are trying to like communicate with you, like what's going on, and you're just basically telling them to fuck off. That's what like when essentially you wouldn't be anywhere without those fans.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like
it doesn't. No, it's like
what she's saying is
what she's saying is true.
I don't care.
And I don't like, and
I wouldn't be anywhere without my cash grabs. Like that's what she's saying.
Yeah, but again, it's just like, but those cash grabs, the only reason that they worked is because you had the fans that liked the cash grab.
Yeah, so she tapped into
like,
something.
Yeah,
I think
and
it's
like,
more
don't get me
remarkable.
wrong. Like I like, at least for like, it's like one of those things for me where I'm just like, I get it. It's just I also am, maybe it's just because of my like pacifist mentality where I'm just like, oh yeah, I think you could have said the same thing, just not as
Yeah, but
fucking.
But you don't
rough.
have to. For one, you don't have to. And because you did, you are now the first like artist to do something that drastic. And I think in due time, people are going to appreciate what she did. She set a precedent of like, you know,
Like the "I love you guys" thing, that was crazy to me. Like,
I love you guys.
like so, like for example, she like one of the fans was just like, "I want to hear you say I do love you guys as usual, like as you usually say to your fans." And she was like, "I don't though, because I don't even know y'all." Like
That's
that
so
one
fair.
was one of those. Yeah, that one I was like, that makes sense. I wouldn't say that either. And then it's just like, again, like it's one of those things where it's like, for example, in like at this point, I think it was already like,
She's
Wild.
saying, yeah, go ahead.
I think it was already like one of those things where it's like things have already moved to the point where it's just like, well, you gotta just at this point, fucking,
Yeah,
you know, what I
can't
mean?
back. You can't back away
down.
from that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. You're already
your
here.
best solution is go as deep
Yeah,
as you fucking
yeah,
can.
just
'Cause-
dive in that rabbit hole and fucking have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like for example, like one of the people over here was like, and we don't know you, but we have supported you through thick and thin, and blah 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 blah. And she was like, nobody forced you. I don't know why you're still talking to me like you.
Dude, I love
you're
this
my
woman.
mother, bitch. Like,
I love this woman. Yeah,
and so it's
who
like
the
one of
fuck
those
are you?
things. And it's
Yeah.
one of those things where it's like, I get it. I understand where you're coming from, but also just like, damn, chill.
I love it. I love it so much, especially because like she's being genuine. She's saying exactly how she feels. She's telling everybody there, which tells me some of the things that I've complained about in the past with like companies and, you know, I did my whole Bud Light rant. It's like celebrities are saying things because they
Yeah, that
are just
shit.
trying to tap into like,
Mhm.
like, oh, I support, you know, Bud Light with the Dylan Mulvaney thing. It's like now that artist is just trying to do it because they think it'll get them more views. She's, you know, if you like Doja Cat, or maybe now you like Doja Cat, you know she's only gonna tell you the truth. She's not gonna do a collab or something just because she wants to do a collab. Like we give praise to Joe Rogan for this specifically. Like he talks about like he only has guests on that he genuinely wants to talk to. He's not gonna have someone on just to promote things and but he's not interested because it's gonna make bad content. Well, you know, if Doja Cat doesn't like want to make a more poppy song because that's what her audience likes the most, she's telling them like, I don't know you, like the producers that I work in
Like-
the booth, like those are the people that, you know, you could tell me I love you and I'll love you back and this and
Nah, I don't think of that.
but like
for
I
me-
don't care about, you know, my fans. Like, oh, you got me here? Really? You one person got me here? No.
Yeah, but I think it's like, for example, like
I think a lot of people just
better
feel
example-
stupid.
Hang on. So
feel
one
stupid
of the
about
better
it.
one of the better examples of what I'm talking about is like, for example, Mac Miller said basically the same shit, where he was just like, yeah, the first couple albums I put out there as more of a way to get my name out there. It's like I knew this was gonna attract people's attention because it was the music people liked, right?
Yeah.
And then my next albums after that, like it's like, so essentially he was basically saying the same shit. Like, yeah, this was a cash grab, right? But at the same time, he also knew like, I'm only doing this to get to what I really want to do.
No, I think
it's like I think there's still a genuine way to be yourself and just be straight up, like, and be straight up. Or
no,
it's just like,
it's
but
what
it's
you're
just like,
saying is like there's a nice way to be straight up,
there is.
but that's not the only way to be straight up.
No, it's not.
And I
But I
respect
think
her for taking
I think
this
that's why
move.
I think for me, I'm saying like, I think this is why it's so controversial.
I think it's controversial because a bunch of people are butthurt that their favorite person doesn't care about them. But it's like, but that's fucking obvious. Like anytime someone like starts to lose a debate or lose a thing, they start to like attack, like try to take away morality from the person. She's not changing the game. She's not changing anything. She doesn't care. She doesn't fucking care about me talking about her. She doesn't care about her fans listening to her music. She got the success. Like, yeah, you gave it all to me. Dude, people run scams every fucking day. All the time people are getting scammed. This scam actually allowed those people to walk away with something, and they're still complaining. They walked away with like a couple of years of really being into her music and really being a fan. Now you don't want to be a fan? Who cares? Don't be a fan. She's not affected by that. And she's showing this. She's like, you don't matter to me because, yes, you helped me get here. You also didn't have to get me here. And it doesn't mean that, like I even want to be here. Like, and these fans feel butthurt because people want to think that they matter, but they don't. And now when it's on full display, when someone's not being nice about it, like Mac Miller or whatever other, scenario you want to compare it to, it's like, I
think you said the reverse of that.
No, like Mac Miller, you said did it in a nicer way.
Yeah, but you accidentally said the opposite. So I was just
regardless.
Yeah.
So
correcting you for the people who are listening.
So like for the average, fan of Doja Cat to just, have it all ripped away that like she doesn't care about me. It's like she never did, and you're just being a sore loser trying to like defame her for this one thing. It's so nothing that like you're trying to get a little more attention out of. Well, you should. It's just like, you know what it is. It's just more victim culture, and if you're a fan or we're a fan and you're offended by her words or her being straight up about this whole thing, means that you want a little more attention from the fact that you feel hurt, that you were not cared about, or that you spend money on her cash grab. Well, she got you. And the thing is, she can call it a cash grab all she wants, but it really isn't a cash grab. If you sat there, enjoyed the music, and up until this point, up until she said it was a cash grab, you didn't know it was a cash grab, then that's on you. Like if it's always been a cash, she could be just bullshitting just to see where, like, who are the fans of the music. Like, she might be more, she might value the art that she puts out higher
than you think.
She might value the art more than what you think. I think with this whole thing, it's like, I don't care about my fans. I care about my art. I want to put out something really good. I don't really care about my fans. And it might have been a revelation that she had recently that like set her back. Like, I wasn't putting out good shit. I was putting out shit for you. And she might be in a place where she's like almost resentful that you allowed her, you as the fan base were there for her and built her up. And
I can agree with that take.
It's almost like
that makes more sense to me.
But for me, it's almost like it's like what is it, Calling of the Wild, or like Old Yeller, they kill the dog, but where White Fang, maybe it's White Fang,
crazy,
where it's like the wolf becomes a sled dog, but then like something happens and they have to, like, the dog can't be living and friends with the owner that like they made friends with, and he's like, go on, get, and like it has to like shoo him away. It's a really sad scene. I think that might be what she's doing. She's like, well, if I just try to approach this in a nice way and just tell you guys, hey, I was putting out music, because it's what you wanted, but it's not what I wanted. It was the artistic way. Like, then people would just be like breaking down her artistic, older albums and her newer albums. She doesn't want to be compared. She wants to just be.
There will always be that, though.
It'll always be that, but she's like, maybe she just wants to create a new fan base. Maybe she is resentful that she got to that point because of, the fan base that helped her create things that she is not necessarily proud of anymore. And she's almost resentful, and she's like, I just got to be as mean as I can so that I push everybody away. At the end of the day, we're talking about art here. People separate the art from the artist with Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. You're going to get mad at Doja Cat for saying she doesn't care about you? What do you, is the end goal to boycott Doja Cat? Is that the end goal? Boycott? Is that what we're doing? We're doing a boycott? Like screw off. Just if you like the music, keep listening to the music. If it offended you so much and you're so victimized, stop listening. Just stop listening. Like, you're not a fan anymore. Don't listen to her new shit. Don't listen to her old shit. Move on. There's plenty of other female rappers and female artists and or just rappers and other artists that you can listen to that has a similar lane, similar vibe. Just find someone else if you really are that upset. But what are we trying to take out on Doja Cat? Is this the first person that has told you that other people don't care about you? Is that the first time you've heard that? Most people, literally most people in the world, do not care about you. There's people in everyone's life that care about you.
Although I still agree with what you're talking about, like I still have to I gotta play devil's advocate. But like I'm gonna kind of compare it up to like imagine like your crush, you see your crush and she's just like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's gonna hurt. It's still gonna hurt, right?
Yeah,
like,
you got a broken heart.
Yeah, you got and I think that's
You're
the
a
scenario.
victim.
I don't
You're
think,
a
I don't think it's
victim.
that's not victiming. Like that's not victimizing yourself. It's
Yes,
just like,
it is.
that sucks. It's just like, all right, whatever. You're gonna move on eventually. Who gives a fuck? But it's just like one of those things where it's just like, I think that's what this is, and I think it's just like, it's similar to like, whenever it happens to anybody. It's like, you try to get that job, and the job is just like, no, you suck, or something like that. It's just like, that's gonna hurt. But it's just one of those things where it's like there are some fans that are taking it a little more than they should.
Yeah.
But
I like this quote that you put.
Yeah, so like this quote.
Now I can go disappear somewhere and touch grass with my loved ones on an island while y'all
weep for
weep.
mediocre pop. Like it's one of those things where I was just like, you came hard about like, and that's how it kind of
I
started.
don't even think that's mean.
I don't think it's mean either. I think it's just like, this was like one of those things where for me, I was just like, damn, okay. And like I said, like I'm just still playing devil's advocate here. But it's just like, because for me, I appreciate honesty more than anything. Even if it does hurt, it's just like, I appreciate honesty more than anything. But I think that it's just like one of those things where it's like these comments were like getting people hurt. And like we're in a generation where it's like people are more in their feelings.
When you say they're getting hurt, this is what I'm talking about. Like
I don't think
you're victimizing yourself. You're not the,
so you're not supposed to feel hurt?
You can feel hurt and just
okay. So that's it.
But why does Doja Cat care? Like that's her whole point. Like I don't care.
Okay.
Oh, you're hurt. Still don't care. Like
yeah, and I think that's fine. Like
who cares? Be hurt.
Like, yeah, and
I was hurt when Juice WRLD died.
I think that's what she's been telling everybody. But it's still like one of those things where it's just like that's what's going on. I'm not saying that like she needs to feel bad for making them feel hurt. What I'm saying is just like people are just hurt.
Yeah, people are hurt, but like hurt from what exactly?
Because it's just
like what do you hurt over?
I think from what I've understood.
Because you were blindsided, like.
I think no. I think from
like
what I
don't feel
okay,
any sympathy.
Me off is fine.
Yeah, but like,
bro, like so I think what is like going on is just like people feel like she's like getting rid of the fans, similar to what's that YouTuber's name that did the boxing? What's his name?
Paul?
No, not that one. The one that did the event, like the one that everyone's been coming at.
Oh, yeah.
His wife does like OnlyFans.
Right.
There's a Froggy Fresh drama.
Hates Sam Hyde.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I know.
Is the way he basically disavowed his old fans, and just that's what I think they feel like, where it's just like you don't like it's like again it is kind of like that you don't care about us. Oh damn, that sucks. But it's just like where like he was just like I don't care, like I don't want to see those fans, like I didn't like those fans, right? They felt hurt because it's just like, but we loved the music you gave, like, and of course it's like he's not gonna care. He wants to move on with his life. He wants to keep going.
Right.
It's the same situation, I think, where it's just like they felt like they just got tossed to the side. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, I think that is all it is, and I don't think it's a controversy or shouldn't be a controversy. I think it should just be like, wow, I'm hurt. I'm gonna miss Doja Cat.
I think the controversial part is not the, she's tossing them to the side. It's the toss them to the side and then she doubled down on anyone that commented.
Yeah, but
and like of course it's funny. Like I fucking
yeah, but have you
comedy.
listened to her songs? Even the Attention that we watched, like it's very just like I'm actually the badass bitch and I'm doing my badass shit. That's all it is.
Yeah, but it's just like
so what she's doing here is being herself. She's just like, no, I'm a badass bitch. I'm doing my badass self. That is her thing.
The controversial part is I'm just being like, even if herself is the rough, like, like shit talking, like badass bitch, like, right? It's like most people are going to be sitting there just like kind of taking the high route, like where they're just like going to be like similar to me, where it's like, I would be like the pacifist in that scenario, right? Like if I was going to say something like that, whereas like for Doja Cat, that's not the case. So it's like for her, it's like the controversial part is coming as like most people are going to be where I kind of land on the pacifist side, but because she's so like, again, also anyone famous, anytime you go against the grain, it's going to be controversial. But it's just like one of those things where it's like she's talking all this shit and just being like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
Yeah, but
so go suck a dick. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's just like when it's stuff like that, that's the part that gets controversial. So it's like some of those comments.
so for me, that is,
Like, hang on.
I want to give the power to the celebrity, because there's people out there all the time that have the power that they shouldn't to affect people's careers entirely from one tweet. So a lot of these people are trying to attack her with their one simple tweet. You're a nobody. She already doesn't care about you. I don't know about you, but you're sitting there thinking that behind my little avatar, behind my little Twitter account or X account, I can just say whatever I want. I can display her as this villain that she is. And they don't anticipate, because most celebrities, or almost every celebrity, doesn't act human in this way. And they just go, well, it's better to let this pass and move on. And no celebrity wants to truly be confrontational. But there was
But I think for me, like, the part that gets me with the Doja Cat fans is this is not the first time. Like, she's talked shit about her fans plenty. Like, that's just, like, for example.
But she's a comic. To me, she's just a
Yes.
comic. And like, you want to be in her arena. You want to involve yourself in her arena and call her out on whatever stupid bullshit and say,
Oh, wait, it's not on your screen.
like, we loved you and now you like why don't you love it? It's like, well, you want to come into my arena? Well, you're going to be on my arena. I have a lot of followers, so I'm going to tweet something replying to you, and you're going to be on full display. Like, I'm putting every single thing on full display. That's the power that I've created. I have that. I used to see this comic that talked about doing this. He eventually stopped, but people would come at him and try to, like, roast him in a tweet and not at him or something, or they would at him. And these are average people that don't interact with anybody. So every once in a while, like once a week, he would go and see all those like random ats and these random like bullshit roasts and comments and like hate that he had. And he would retweet it and reply and just, I mean, his comic, he's a lot funnier than you. He's going to make you feel a lot stupider. But now you're also on full display to his entire audience. So if you wanted to just, you think you could just sit behind a computer or a phone and just say whatever you want and put your victimhood out in the world, then I think it's just showing you do have accountability, even on social media. We're not hiding behind, like, there is a person that's hiding behind that. And she's going to move on and not have any, like resentment of individual interactions from this Twitter thing. This is all just arbitrary. This doesn't really mean anything to her, especially if she really does want to just retire and touch grass on islands. Like let her do that. I see you have another tweet.
Yeah, so, like, this is an old one, but it's just, like, moments like this will happen where it's, like, people will be like, everyone is mad because you're calling your fans dumb. And she's like, are they not?
She's hilarious. What are we getting mad at?
Oh, this was that original one I was talking about.
All right, yeah, what's the original?
Just, my fans don't name themselves shit. If you call yourself a kitten or a fucking kittens, that means you need to get off your phone and get a job and help your parents at the house.
People really don't like reality. I think that's what I'm learning from this Doja Cat case is, like, we don't want to be told what's actually going on. We don't want to be told that we're not cared about by our idols. We don't want to be told that, our followers or being a follower is kind of pathetic. It's like have more human interactions. That's what she's saying. I think she what's coming off as mean is really just comical. She's just twisting it in a comical way, and especially comical because it's not the usual way. It's taking a different approach to something like this. Like, she's just doing it in her own way, and it's a way that's never been done. I love this. I respect this. I aspire to be.
I love it, but
I
respect it.
And I'm not funny in the way she's funny. I'm not standoffish in the way she's standoffish. But I hope that, like, I don't come into a situation where I'm faced with kind of just doing it the nice way because it's the right thing to do. And if I have a moment where I'm trying to move away from something or venture into something different, that, I do it in something that's true to me. I just, like, I don't take shit from the people that are hating and commenting, and because, if she did venture, what if she ventures into country next and she actually like does really well and she's really excited about doing country music? All of her fans weren't going to cross over. Some of them might, but all of her fans weren't going to cross over with her into that. So what does it matter if she did it nicely or not? She's a human. We're all humans. If we're put in the same exact scenario, you don't know that you're going to do it in the nice way. Or if you do it in the nice way, that you're going to be proud of yourself for doing it in the nice way. Because you know you're not being real to yourself. I think that's my biggest thing.
That's not true. Because I think that some people are just genuinely nice. Like,
But I think this is harmless. I think her making fun of her fans, calling them dumb, calling them this, like, that's her style. Like if she was...
No, she's just being blunt. Like,
if she got the notoriety as a comic before she got the notoriety as a musician, this would just be like, no one would bat an eye. Like, her fans would become bigger fans for like being roasted and made fun of. She just doesn't have like I see stuff like this with comics all the time. Like Tom Segura recently was, or kind of still does, like a lot of jokes about like how he's just so much wealthier than all his fans, all his, you know, listeners and all that. And it's funny, like he leans into it. And you know, I've seen other comics that are like, I'm too cool for my stuff, but like that's just like kind of the joke that they're going for. Like her joke is just like, no, like these random people are fucking dumb and weird for like following me. Like maybe it's just that insecurity that she has. That's where a lot of comedy comes from. And it's just her way of portraying it. Like if she had a comic fan base, this would just make those fans bigger fans of what she's doing, which is why I'm a bigger fan of her knowing this controversy.
Heard? Yeah. I mean, like I said, for me, I'm like, I just feel like I can agree with what she's saying. I just wish there was a better way to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, I'm the pacifist type of mentality, right? Yeah, that's just who I am, right? So like, I'm not sitting there like thinking that she did anything necessarily wrong. Like, and I can agree with you where you're talking about like the whole like comedic aspect, because it's just like she's obviously shown from the beginning that that's kind of like who she is, but she's also very blunt. Which in the way she's blunt, like some of these things I don't think is like coming off as like comedic. I think she's just being blunt. Like I do think that like that's
a lot
just
of
who she
great
is.
comedy is accidental comedy.
Yeah, like, and I do think that that's who she is. Like, for example, like I have family members like that, like same thing. They're just like, that's how blunt they are. They don't give a fuck. They're just gonna tell you how it is, and then they're not gonna think about it later on. Like, it's just like they said what they had to say, and they're done with it. They may even come up to you afterwards and be like, "Hey, you want to grab some ice cream?" Like nothing happened, right? Like even if they hurt your feelings, they don't give. Like it's just like they're not thinking about that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what I think that like that whole scenario is, which is why it's like for me, I'm like I wish it was said better. I can agree with what she's saying because I understand where she's coming from, right? With some of the things that she's saying. It's just like I could understand like where
you would have said it differently. And I think the average person couldn't agree with Gio here. Like,
yeah,
I would have done it differently.
Yeah, but I think that because, you know, certain people are...
But she, to this point, you would have done it differently. The average person would have done it differently. The only one who's truly done it differently is Doja Cat. Because the common way to do it all throughout time, it like people... Maybe it's just I've been watching way too much of The Boys and
I think so.
And those like
I think that The Boys is nailing it.
Those
My
superheroes,
screen.
that is insane.
That is crazy.
Those superheroes are so their weakness is their reputation and like, you know, how they're perceived.
I can't wait for you to fucking
dude,
get to where I'm at in The Boys.
It is,
dude. You're gonna come back Homelander. Like
I already love Homelander.
You're gonna come back like the biggest Homelander. Like
yeah,
cape and all, just
sucking my mom's teats. No, but I just like I really want to acknowledge and it's been on a like common theme for a couple episodes in a row, and even my guest appearance on the recent Jared Carroll the Carroll connection with Jared, talking about originality. Like, this is the only different way I've seen this be approached. This is the only time I've seen a celebrity who truly is just like a human, and I don't care about my reputation. This is what I feel, and this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry if I'm being blunt and reality offends you, but this is what it is. I'm just telling you what I feel. Like, I'm not trying to, save grace or like make you feel okay about yourself. I don't care. Like, I don't care about you or what happens to you or how you feel about me, like, offending you. It's just, I don't know you. I can't care about you because I don't know these people. Like, people are saying they like my music. Well, I don't like my music. Those are cash grabs. There was just generic pop music, and you guys soaked it up. And people are offended because, I'm not genuine, and I would have done it differently. And, like, the nice way to do it. Like, but
Are you
she's
throwing
the
me
only
into
one-
that goddamn loop?
Yeah, I am.
No.
You are in that loop.
No, I'm not.
You sat here and defended.
I told you in the beginning I had to play devil's advocate.
You,
And then also, I told you also in the beginning, like, I get it. Like, I straight up from the beginning said, I get it.
you did say that you do get it.
But I said, I feel like she could have handled it differently.
My point is,
Because again, I'm a pacifist way. Like, I don't care what she said. Like, I can agree with what she said. I just feel like she could have said it in a better way.
but this is my point. This is why it's not controversial, because when you break it down,
But-
everyone can agree with what she's saying.
I
What she's
think
saying
the
is
fact
just
that
reality.
We're
It's just
arguing over it makes it controversial already. It's like the argument becomes invalid when we're still arguing over it.
yeah, because there's dumb fans like you that still. Not that you need it, Doja Cat. You got my support through this. I hope you still don't care about me, but this episode's been fun. I think we've done enough time. We've got a couple fun little segments, but
I think so.
yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Peace.